All right, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing today? I hope you guys had a great day. Thank you for joining the Ivy League live stream. It takes a little bit to make sure everything's kick in. Thank you again for joining. All right, we have a lot of good information, a lot of charts we're going to go over. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, as short and sweet as we possibly can. um, like, share, and subscribe. You don't know if there's anybody out there that could use this information, guys, and it'd be helpful. It takes a lot of work to come up with these ideas and different things, and we don't charge a dime. It's free 99. Thank you again for joining. Again, I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. My goal here is to be able to have a place where traders can come and join. Free 99. Okay, trade ideas, news, hangout, sports, whatever. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're going to go over some data. We're going to go over the SPY. We're going to go into some positioning, some institutional positioning that we're starting to see, and the psychology of what is going on right now. Okay, you have a lot of indices that are up at all-time highs, and then you have some that are down, at December, November lows. They're still hanging around where they were at the beginning of the year. I'm not going to say 6-month lows, but you guys know what I'm getting at. So again, like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. All right, today I already came into the morning expecting a day of kind of just, because usually when we come back from a holiday weekend, after you've had such data that we've had like we had last week, you usually get like a consolidation type of day. You actually got a little bit of movement today. You got about a $3 range in the SPY, which isn't too bad. That if you were to say that a year ago, you'd be like, $3. I ain't even getting up for that. But volatility's getting killed. Okay, so we're gonna look at the VIX. I need to write that down. All right, we have Powell. Guys, if you don't know, we stream live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, depending on whether there's earnings or something after the bell that we want to stick around for. So my goal here, again, is to not only provide a place where traders can go to for free, we can come hang out, but my goal is to also teach. My goal is to also give you guys areas of the market that I see has, whether it's upside or downside, where there's opportunity. Okay, that is my main goal. All right, I am new at this, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I told you guys there's going to be some changes over the weekend and whatnot, and I'm slowly getting to them. Okay, slowly getting into them. So first we have here, guys, believe it or not, this week still has a lot of inflation data. We still have a lot of inflation data. I have some areas on the SPY I want to get into. That's going to go into like positioning. All right, what's going on? What's the title about with a market crash or this positioning I'm talking about, guys? You're in a weird spot right now. All right, psychologically, whether it's retail traders and fund managers, professional money managers, guys, they're all struggling with the idea that I'm going to be bringing to you. So let's go over this. Today's Tuesday. We had some real estate data today. All right. So building permits actually came in above consensus. Okay, or forecasted 1.42. We came in 1.49. So just above. Now your previous month over month for May. Well, this is for May, but the previous month was 1.41. So we came in higher. Again, we came in at 1.49. All right. We still, again, guys, we still have a lot of inflation data. 3-month bill auction, 5.13. 6-month, 5.17. You're still getting an ungodly amount of yield on your short-term duration. It's astonishing the amount of time that we have spent here. Seriously, think about it. We have been the yield curve has been inverted for over a year now, I want to say. At least a year. At least a year, guys. And I mean, if you're not taking advantage of this, You really need to. Even your longer term duration. You might want to give the longer term duration a little bit of time, but there's also, you're collecting. There's a lot of upside that could be had. All right, and I still think that longer term durations is going to take a little time. I still think it's going to take time. All right, I'm not perfect. It might come July. They might start. Tickets of the bonds might start going up, but I don't think it's going to be that quick. I'm expecting a lot of this stuff to start to cool off in about 8 months' time. I'm going to put my neck out there. Again, I've been saying this. I'm going to say Q1, Q2 is when we really get into it. Now, does the market start pricing that in around October, November, December? That's the other question. That's the other flip side to this. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to get into when I get into the SPY. We have locations that I'm going to get into. We have 3, 4. We have a bunch of trade ideas for you guys. I even forgot about some of them today, and I wrote them down. And there's another one I need to write down so I don't forget. So, I did write it down. So anyway, let's go through the inflation data. We're going to go into Powell. What do we expect tomorrow, guys? And then we're going to get into the charts. And then that's going to bring me into what I'm talking about with as far as positioning and what's to be had after this. Is there more upside? Do we look for downside? Okay. If we're going to get upside, what's going to take us up? If we're going to get downside, what's going to take us down? All right. And if you're playing options, when? You don't want to try and time the market. You just want to give yourself time. Honestly, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. I seriously don't think, for something major to happen, Powell could come down and shut the markets down tomorrow. But again, we're going to get into that in a little bit. Again, if you're new, like, share, and subscribe. Post your questions down below. Post tickers that you guys would like to go over. All right, we do this every night, Monday through Friday, around 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m. Again, we are live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 p.m. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and we're going to go run through this data. We also have a lot of Fed speaking too, both European and the United States. Okay, you have a lot of CPI data, retail sales for Canada. There is still, this past 2 weeks has been packed of inflation data. All right, and all of them are watching it. They're all watching it, not just Powell, but from Canada to Japan to Europe to Italy to China. I mean, they're all watching this stuff, guys. They're all trying to get it combated in one way, shape, or form. Because, again, we kind of brought this on ourselves. But that's neither here nor there. The past is what it is. You can only do what you can do going forward. I'm going to take a sip of drink, and we're going to get into this data real quick and the importance and the opportunity that's going to be had this week. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to be ready. Thursday, especially, going to be ready. Friday, I'm going to be ready because I don't think it stops. I don't think we have a slow week. I'm saying it right here, right now. I think you're going to get some good movement, whether it's from Powell or that inflation data or both. Thank you guys for that. Sorry about that. I just don't want to drink in front of the or in front of the mic. All right, so if you guys don't know, we do have Powell tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, that is just after the bell. All right, we have a 17-week bill auction. Previously was 5.150. Now, I want to go back real quick to this 3-month and 6-month. Look, guys, the 3-month did pull back a little bit. But look at the 6-month. It did pull back a little bit, I guess. I'm sorry. So they did pull back just a little bit. Again, we have Powell. We have inflation data. We have S&P PMI manufacturing and services. Let's see. You might want to watch this MBA 30-year mortgage rate. Just keep an eye on that. It's still floating around the sixes, high sixes. So that's pretty much, we're going to see what happens there. I'm kind of curious on to what that number comes in at. 4 o'clock at the bell, we have Fed Mester tomorrow. Now you've had a lot. Now I haven't. Look, Fed Jefferson, Fed Cook. Now this is the testimony, I guess, with Powell. All right, we're gonna touch right into that as soon as we're done this. We also have the Red Book year over year tomorrow as well at 8:55 a.m. That may not be so moving. That may not be market moving, but guys, just because it's not highlighted or whatever, okay, chances are that they're not expecting a surprise. Now, you could just get a random number out of anywhere, whether it's unemployment, whether it's real estate data, whether it's services, manufacturing, anything. You could just get a surprise number out of nowhere. I don't think we do just yet, but I think in time we may. And again, we go over this data a lot because it's important. You have to go over the data. You have to, because you would get ahead. You'll get a head game of what is going on. If you go through this data, you will see time after time after time when you start running through it and you start, recognizing these numbers and what they come in at, you're going to see a slow contraction. We are seeing a slow contraction. All right, but like Powell said, the Fed watches PCE. Okay, that's their inflation data that they depend on and that the Fed uses themselves. It's still high. CPI core is still high. Okay, that is counting out food and energy. Food and oil, natural gas, whatever. So I still think, and it's not the Fed's job is to not bring the prices down. They just want it to stop going up. And that's it's a shame in and of itself, because again, I always say this. You have people that are on fixed income, older individuals who may not have gotten the education or whatever to know, man, I should have just saved a lot and not saved it. Like, saving gets you nowhere. Your purchasing power just gets dwindled by these events. Dwindled. And there's real people that get harmed by it, okay? So the Fed is really adamant on getting this stuff under control. Again, we also have, like I said, throughout the week, we have Fed speakers. I'm sorry, gang. I had to put this on here just to make sure my camera doesn't cut off or something. It's been pretty good lately, if you haven't noticed. So, this is Thursday or Wednesday. So we're on Thursday. All right, let's go. Let's run it down. So look, we have a lot of crude data. We've been on crude, guys. We've been calling crude out. We've been calling natural gas and oil out, at least to keep your eye on it. We expected some upside. So tomorrow, look at all this data we get. Gasoline stocks change, natural gas, crude oil. Okay, you get all of it tomorrow. You have Kansas Fed Composite Index. We'll see what that all brings. You have your 4-week, 8-week bill. Not that I gotta stop saying that. 30-year mortgage, 15-year mortgage. Still in the high sixes. Now 15's down at the low sixes, but 5-year tips auction, guys. 5-year tips. That's kind of telling in and of itself. 1.3? Are you serious? I don't know about that. Yeah, technically I do agree with that. Again, I do agree with that, because in 5 years' time, it's hard to say. We might actually, we should be on a path to getting things under control by then, but I don't know. We'll see. Again, you have Japan inflation rate year over year. All right, previously 3.5, and look, the consensus 4.1 and 3.2 is the forecast. So we're going to see if this number comes in higher or lower. All right, just to keep an eye on it, because it always helps to see what's going on around the world. I always preach this, guys. You want to see what's going on around the world, from Germany to Europe to Japan. It all intertwines together. It really does. It really does. Friday morning, we have Fed Bostic. You haven't really heard too much of, the Fed's, I want to say Bullard spoke. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday morning. And you didn't, excuse me, I'm sorry. At least I didn't. I didn't get too much. I didn't really hear anything that he, as if he tried to talk the markets down and there was headline news on it. it didn't make it my way. So S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, Services PMI, Composite PMI, all inflation data. That's all inflation data. All right, so you guys are going to keep your eyes on this. So believe it or not, it's a packed 2 weeks, guys. So you guys got to come join us. We're giving out beautiful trades day in and day out. Okay, we called the stocks that I'm going to get into out on Friday. On Friday, you guys could have already been in them and been up. I don't know, 100 to roughly 200%. Like, you'd be already on this move, had some profits, laid back. All right, laid back. Just listen to what I say and you make your own decision. This is not financial advice, okay? But you guys have to get rid of the noise. Just get rid of the noise, okay? You know volatility's been getting killed. And when you come out of a bear market, what happens? But if you have ever looked at a chart, and we can spend time doing it, we can go to the SPX, we can go to the SPY, we can go to ES, it doesn't matter. If from 08, 2000, the 80s, every single time you come out of a bear market, the volatility gets crushed and you get this price action and it just rises and it just rises. Oh, it can't go up higher. It just rises and rises and rises and rises and rises and rises. I'm telling you guys, all right? So, no, just don't don't say the market has to come down. Okay, now you get an event, a bank, a couple banks, something, an event that can bring the markets down, then yes, there you have all the right in the world to say the market has to come down. How many times have we heard Tesla has to come down, and look what it did today again? Again, okay? Don't fight it. Just read the chart, read and react. The market's going up, you're in calls or you're long, okay? Worst case, again, put it against a weak stock. You see something going down, whether it's banks. I'm just saying anything. Don't quote me. Don't go here and start shorting the banks and going long the S&Ps or technology. Things can flip just like that. Okay, you have rotation, and it's going to get into the. I'm going to get into the psychological part of what is going on with positioning. I still think we're going higher. I do. All right, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason why I think we can go higher until we get an event. All right? Until we get an event. It could be earnings. Earnings could bring us down. Maybe they don't bring us down this quarter, but the following quarter. Okay? Yes, there is a contraction. We know this. But when is it that the contraction shows itself and rears its ugly head to bring the markets down? And then when it brings the markets down, where are we going to go? Are we going back to 350? We will wait and we will read and react when that time comes, and we'll gauge how bad or not bad it is and where we think we have the opportunity to, whether it's obviously to the downside, but when do we start playing the upside? Monday through Friday, Ivy League Trading, youtube.com, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Guys, we're live every day. We cover small caps, mid caps, large caps, and everything in between. All right. If you were on the live stream Friday, if you're on the live stream last night, over the weekend, you would have already been in, or could have potentially been in, sectors that we've already called out. All right. I've been very lucky. I'm not always going to be right, but the past 3 weeks, I've been calling the positioning and the location of the market, at least for the upside, where you want to be. All right, I've done it for the past 3 weeks. Again, I'm going to be wrong, but again, thank you guys for joining. If you could seriously like, share, subscribe, ask some questions, guys. Ask me a question, get a ticker on here. Let's do it. Let's get to work. What are some ideas that you have? What is it that you're looking at? You want to post Y? Post Y. So there's the data. We know this. So we have inflation data. All right, Japan, even the world, we still have inflation data, and it's not going to be long before we get into earnings. And it's not going to be long before we have Powell right before earnings. At that. All right. First things first. Let's go into the watch tool. 78% chance for that 25 basis points. What caused this? Is it the rally? Why is this now a 78% chance, 80% likelihood that we're getting that 25 basis points. I said last meeting that we're probably going to get to 25. I was pretty adamant on us getting the 25 last week. Now, as days goes on, I feel a little bit different about that. Okay? If we stay the same and everything is the same as of today and nothing changes in July 26th, we'll probably get that data until something changes. Or not the data, but we'll probably get that 25 basis points. It's just the fact that he said, that he related as in we went from 75 to 50, from 50 to 25, and then what do we do from 25 on? It sounded really good for them to pause 25, pause 25, done. Okay? Markets don't believe it. We'll see. I have listened to Powell this whole time. He hasn't lied to us. Higher for longer, higher for longer. You know the song. You guys know the song and dance. Higher for longer. So, and I see why they wouldn't mind getting to 5.5, in between there, 5 to 5.5. There's been a lot of liquidity put in the system. The labor market is extremely strong. So let's see how well it holds up. Something happens, we will cut rates. We have the tools to fix it. Not only will they cut rates, their balance sheet. That's the other thing. Do we get insight tomorrow on their balance sheet? Okay, we've went through the data. Let's go into Powell. What are we going to expect from Powell? The more important question is, what are we going to expect from the senators and the governors and the House, whoever it is? Because I think they go to the House and then the Senate, I'm pretty sure. Or either it's a 2-day banking committee. I'm not sure. Guys, I've been through them all like plenty of times. I just can't remember. I just want to say off the top of my head that it goes from one group of them I think it's like the House. And then then the Senate has their chance with him. All right. So, guys, I need you guys to understand this. And this is what is a shame. This is what's sad. Okay. And this is why they say politics will be politics. What do they have tomorrow? They have free media air. They know people will be watching them. Okay. They know people are going to be watching them. I hate to say this. I hate to say this, guys. But if you guys tune in, if you guys are new here, like, share, and subscribe. I had to throw that in there. Thank you, though, if you do. God bless you. Karma is a real thing, and you have some good karma coming your way. So, these people are hired to do a job, right? They're hired to do a job. Now the cameras are running. Okay, you've seen this with the debt ceiling, right? What did we see with the debt ceiling? They said, we're going to come to a deal. We're going to come to a deal. We're going to come to a deal. And then it was, oh, well, we got to do this. We got to do that. I don't know. Blah, blah. We're not making a deal. We're going to make a deal, but we're not doing this. We're not doing that. What happened? They came to a deal. What that is, okay, and the reason they also had to come to a deal is because if they waited, they were going to get their credit downgraded, and that's not only just not good for us, but that's not good for the other countries that depend on that money, that interest payment that they get to pay someone else. All right? Need a drink. Guys, expect this tomorrow. Guys and girls, ladies and gents, expect this tomorrow. You are going to get. I should have came up with the word. This is my personality. I have trouble with words. I have trouble relaying, what I want to get out sometimes. And sometimes it may be taken differently or wrong. So what you're going to get is a lot of pandering, okay? I feel you're going to get some questions here and there, but I am almost 100% positive, and I hope that I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong, because these people they have a job to do, and they need to start doing it. Okay, and that job is to ask Powell, how can we be of assistance? What is it that we're trying to do here? Where do we want to be? Just working, okay, and not using the camera and the time to say, when Trump was here, we did this, we made it easier, blah, blah, blah. African Americans can't get loans, this and that. White people, Mexican, there are people of all colors that can't get loans or that get disqualified or just things, it's life. Okay, yes, I don't mean to say it as in it's life, but there's going to be a lot of that rhetoric, Okay, there's going to be a lot of that rhetoric. And honestly, things aren't perfect. I'm not saying they are. Okay, but I'm almost certain. Now, you might be right depending on the person doing it. I don't know. Usually the person that makes a decision is over the phone and they don't know your color. Okay? You have the people you deal with at the bank, but they usually call the loan manager or whatever they're called. So you're going to get a lot of rhetoric. You're going to get racist rhetoric. You're going to get people can't afford this and that. You guys did such a terrible job, blah, 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 blah. You're just going to get politics being politics. Okay, so when you see this, if you guys watch this, listen, we're going to have it live. We're going to have the testimony live Wednesday and Thursday. We go on live at 7:30, if not 7 a.m., okay, but 7:30 a.m. to 4, and we come up with our game plan. We go over the news. We go over what stocks we should be in, what their ATR is, what the RVOL is, where's the VIX, where's the SPY, where's the Qs, where's the overall indexes, where's TLT, okay? How does this news affect whatever stock it is we're playing? Is it good? Is it bad? Guys, join us. Okay, join us, guys. I'm telling you, I think you could really benefit from it. All right? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You are your own fund manager. You manage your own capital. Okay? Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight to have a discussion. We're going to take questions, too. Post them in the chat. Okay? Post them in the chat, guys. So the market does not believe that the Fed is going to be able to get to their target. So look here. I have January 24th or January 31st, 2024. You have a 43.1% likelihood that they're pricing in a 5 to 5.25. That's one rate hike. That's 125 rate hike. There is a 40% chance. Excuse me. There's a 22% chance of a 5 or of a cut. There's a 25.25% likelihood of a cut. And then we have the other just over 20, it's 27%, just over the 22% of the cut, a 525 to 550. So higher for longer is what the market thinks, but they still think they're going to get one in, and then they're not going to get the second one. That's what this is pricing in. Now I have to pull up the Fed funds rate. I gotta move along. So again, guys, tomorrow, watch the rhetoric, see if it changes this at all. Just go to July, see if you want. I don't know what changed it. I just looked at it a little bit ago. I thought it was higher than this. I guess not. But for some reason, we have a 76% likelihood, really a 77% likelihood that we're going to get that 25 in July as of now. Okay, because there's nothing to dictate this to the downside as in an event or data that's came in pretty hot, hot as in inflation or a contraction in an area. Okay, you got the real estate numbers and it was higher. Okay, so I assume that's also why that went up. So again, I just want to reiterate, tomorrow we're going to go live at 7:30. We will have Powell's testimony. Okay, we're going to have this thing on full speed, full blast, so it is not far behind. If you're at work, tune in. All right, YouTube has an app. You can just go right on Safari or whatever your Android phone. Just go right on Firefox, whatever you use, and come in live. If you have any questions, okay, because I'm going to be calling out certain points. If something is said, and I feel the market's going to react off of it, I am going to be taking advantage of this opportunity, and I would hope you guys would join us. All right, I really, truly feel you guys could benefit from it. We go through education. All right, I haven't done much of it yet, but I'm starting to. I've got I have some things I've been working on and getting everything together. So we went through the economic data. We went through Powell's testimony tomorrow, where we think, just like the debt ceiling, you have the cameras are running. You're going to get a lot of politics being politicians. Okay, and they're not going to be worried about what Powell's doing while the camera's on. They're going to be worried about saying how good of a job they've been doing. Look at the job numbers, this and that. Why do you want to kill the jobs market? Why do you want to make it hard? Blah, 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 blah. We're at a record low unemployment. We need a pullback. Okay? The only way for this stuff to be sufficiently, to run sufficient is to have these pullbacks, because you're going to come across a time like you did in '08 and 2000s and the 80s where things just get overextended way too high. And what happens? The buyers step away. And the sellers that want to be sellers have to come way down. And that's not good. Okay? That's not good. So you do it in moderation. All right? They should all be smart enough to know this, but you're going to get a whole lot of rhetoric in all types of different directions. And at the end of the day, I don't think you're going to get much accomplished, and I hope I'm wrong. Okay, they have Powell. They have them there. They need to do their job. And if you're a senator, if you're a person from the House, please do that. It will help your vote. Say, look, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I had Powell. I was doing my job that the people hired me to do. All right? If you want somebody to do that, please vote me. Put me in office. Okay? And I promise you, the only rhetoric that's going to be had is worrying about what it is I'm supposed to be worried about. All right, so we got through that, guys. We had news all over the place. So if you don't know, today and like throughout this week, Paris is having their air. Let me get this right real quick. It's their air show. I think it's Paris Air Show. Yes, Paris Air Show. You had some data, or not some data, but some news with Boeing and Lockheed Martin. You've had Airbus. So we're going to go over that. But they didn't have this in 2021. In 2021 because of COVID. All right. So there's a lot of aviation. If you don't know, they import and export a lot of aviation parts, if you didn't know this. All right. And a lot of it's taxed, like the wine and liquor and stuff like that. There's a big tax on that stuff. And they were actually, if you guys remember, a while back, they were talking about trying to bring these taxes down. And I don't know if they ever came to an agreement on that or not. All right, so we went through Powell and his testimony tomorrow. You guys know we're going to be live 7:30 to 4 p.m. If something happens after the market, we'll stay here. We'll be here. We went through Powell. I introduced, okay. And I want you guys to take notice real quick on the Powell talk. Does Powell come in hawkish and try to talk these markets down? Does he come in dovish? Are they kind of happy with where they're at and they're just going to let now it's they've done their job and now they're going to give it time? I still want to know the balance sheet. I tried to rewatch the Fed meeting. I have to do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight before I go to bed as I'm falling asleep. But they touched on it briefly, and I don't think we got very much information on the balance sheet, guys. The balance sheet has actually been raised because of this banking crisis. All right, it's been raised a lot. It's been raised in an amount that is close to when Obama, I think coming out of '08, they spent $800 billion. And they just did that for this. Just under it. A few $100 billion. Let's look. Let's look. No, Fed. All right. Here we go. So you guys see here. So we've technically we haven't really gotten much done. Okay, and this has also helped the markets go up. You also had China. That stuff helps the market up. That's liquidity. Okay, again, that's liquidity. And this right here is liquidity. All right, how much did they raise? We got down to 8.34. We'll call it 8.34, and then we went to 8. You went almost. What is that? Shit. $500 billion, guys. $500 billion just for the banking crisis, and look, it's starting to dip up. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Look at it. It's starting to dip up. It is kind of trending back down. So when are they going to start letting these run off their balance sheet? I don't think they've gotten there yet. I think they've just been worried about the interest rates, and they've been worried about, the time for that. So I really want to see if they ask about the balance sheet. It's going to be really important. If they don't touch on it, then then you know why they didn't touch on it. It's probably because they weren't prepared and didn't do their job. Okay, they should know this. Maybe they don't do it on air because they could probably send a letter to Powell. Maybe they have, not maybe, I know they do. They have, they stay in contact. Treasury Janet Yellen, they all stay in contact. So it's just going to be a whole bunch of, them just saying the same stuff that they usually say, and just to try and get voters to vote for them. And they just try to make their case that they've done such a great job. Such a great job. Are you kidding me, bro? Bro, we called this out Friday. We've been on it. I'm going to get into it. I know. Listen, Brody, I thought we were going to have a gap up. I had a feeling we could get a gap up because you had a lot of momentum, and I felt like it was going to be peak momentum. And look at what you just said. 28.7, gang. If you don't know it, that's my guy there. We've been calling out Bitcoin since Friday. People just started talking about it today, this afternoon. We were on it Friday. All right, we seen the shift on Friday. We called it out Friday, said, look, we want to look for Bitcoin, which is going to be your Mars, your BT, BIDO, MSTR. MSTR has a pretty good pattern on it. You had Tom Lee come out from Fundstrat on CNBC, not on CNBC, but it was on CNBC's site where Tom Lee from Fundstrat, right here, Tom Lee names 3 trades investors should get into, including Bitcoin. So if you have Fundstrat Tom Lee, Fundstrat's the hedge fund, and Tom Lee is the guy that is pretty much comes on CNBC and runs it. So we said it in chat too, man, that it was such a beautiful pattern, a bullish setup, that you needed to just take it and print it and hang it on your wall. If you ever wanted to see what a bullish pattern to the upside looked like, it was that. It was that. I feel like we're going to be playing it tomorrow. I still feel it's early, guy. I really do. I think there's more time. I'm going to get ready to go over some charts. What I want to do first, though, is I want to go over a few things. Let's go over, I'm going to look at RBOB. Okay. Gasoline futures, 2.6. Now, why do I look at this? Because this is inflation. It's been pretty steady. It hasn't went up. It hasn't went down. Now, I'm going to be honest. I feel like this might break to the upside. If you get gasoline to break to the upside, watch out, okay? Because that's going to mess. Again, I said I'm sticking my neck out there, and I am saying I feel like we get a higher than expected inflation print next week. It's not going to be anything crazy high. I just think maybe 0.1%, 0.2% higher. Let's just say they have inflation set at 4.5. I think we might come in at 4.6, 4.7. I just feel it. I kind of feel like it'll be up just a little bit, and that'll be the Fed's excuse to give us a 25. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It could come in way lower. Maybe the fact that I think it could come in a tad higher is why we might get a crazy low inflation print, actually. That's how the market works more times than not. So let's get into it. Let's go to the SPY, guys. So tomorrow with Powell. This leads me right into the SPY. Let's go over the charts, guys. So let's go to the SPY. We have a small, somewhat forming reverse head and shoulder. Or not reverse, but a head and shoulders starting to form. Here's your left shoulder. Here's your head. We'll see what happens. We break 435. We break this area here. I'm going to be watching. I still need to put my lines there, but I'm going to call it right here, guys, at 435. Pretty much 435 flat. Where are we going? Let's go to the hourly. All right, I'm going to show you guys something. And I've had my eyes on this. All right, I haven't said anything, but I've had my eyes on it. What do we have here? There's a gap. This does not mean we got to fill it anytime soon. We could fill it next year when we go into recession, when we get into this recession talk. We could just continue to rally higher. We could stay flat for a little bit, build a base, boom, we're just going to float higher. Look at your MACD on the hourly. Look at your RSI on the hourly. Let's go to the daily. So what you want to look for, guys, is how we had a down day. Okay, we had a little bit of a down day. It got bought up. But how much did it bring in? Like, how much did it bring down the RSI, the MACD? Like, what was in that move is what you guys want to, like, remember to pay attention on. It's like some stuff you guys want to look for. Because you're going to notice, like, you're going to feel like, man, that was a low volume push. But, man, the indicators just got sucked way down. And then you might want to be able to, take a long or a short, if vice versa. All right. Those things are going to come with time. And understanding what I mean by that, okay, and what I mean by that is like we had this day, this consolidation, day. Really, I would call this I have the word in my head and I just can't think of it. An indecision type of day. This was an indecision day. We closed red, but we pretty much closed flat. We tried to go up, we sold off, we went down, we got bought up. It's indecision. We're waiting for Powell. You could call this a hangman, okay? You could call this a hammer. Usually, I would take these as a bullish candle, okay? But it did close red. We'll see. So what I like to think of when I see these hammer candles here, I like to picture somebody here like hitting something and it just going up, okay? But it did close red, so we'll see. All right, we'll see. So I'm looking for this gap fill, guys. You guys need to keep this on your list. Keep this on watch. You have a gap here. It's at 423 to 424. Okay, it's about $1 range, 75-cent range in this gap. We're going to test it. It will be filled, I promise. But it's just when. When does it get filled? Does it get filled later when we go into this recession talk? Does an event happen? Okay, just keep it on watch. They all just about have it. Look at the Dow. The Dow's got a nice pennant going on here in the daily. Okay, I think I'm on the daily, right? Yes, I am. All right, look at the gap, guys. There's a gap there. Do the Qs have it? I haven't gotten that far, but we'll go look at it now. The Qs don't necessarily have it. Shit. And that's okay. I still think we need to retest this level. We still need to come back to retest and gain this level. Because it was resistance, but when did it become support? It kind of didn't. I mean, if you want to call this a small gap here, you can, but it's kind of still filled there. So it's a little weird. All right, there is a very small little gap right here. It's like, but it's not anything to, maybe not. Okay, yeah, it's like right there. It's like a few pennies. It's like a 3-cent gap. So there is a gap. I look for it to be filled. Okay, so that's going to be, if something happens, put that as your target. If it happens tomorrow, a month from now, 2 months from now, put that gap as your target. It's going to be important because we're going to go revisit it. Let's go to the IWM real quick again. The Q's closed green. Keep that in mind for tomorrow. Tech closed green. The Nasdaq closed green. Keep that in your mind. Now again, let's look at the Dow. I'm pretty sure the Dow probably closed red. Yeah, I figured it did. I can always gauge what the other markets do, and then what that's going to entail for the other ones. And the SPY barely closed green. Now let's go to the IWM. Technically, it should close an indecision as it should. I was actually going to say close a little green. Why would I say that? Because the NASDAQ with tech is risk and IWM is also risk. But they're not going up together. Not that they go up together, but this proves my point that it was just shy of turning green. So the volume was pretty low today, again, because of the obvious reason. Look at this gap down here, gang. All right, there's still a gap here. I mean, you have this candle here, you have some indecision here, but I promise it's going to get filled. And look at this level. This level is just looks too damn good to not retest. But ultimately, I want the IWM to come back down here to 180, 181. All right, so we're going to put that on. And the IWM still closed up above. Now, this is an important chart to keep an eye on, okay? Because they might start to try to inch a little higher, and maybe they fail. I'm sure they will probably fail. Because if the IWM was going to rally, it would have already rallied by now. It would already be going up with the rest of the market. It's not. This is telling you we still have an inverted yield curve. We still have issues. All right. We're still going into an environment with low expansion. We're going into an environment that is contraction. Earnings are going to be contracting. There's the growth. We're not looking to be growing. Okay. The Fed is looking to wrangle things in and slow stuff down negatively. We want to just, no growth. They don't want a whole bunch of growth right now. They want to stop. They just want things to just ease up. Okay? That's why it's called quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. They're trying to tighten it up. They're pulling back the reins on the lending and all that. And the bank lending is going to play a part in it too, as well as the balance sheet and all that stuff, because again, banks borrow short-term rates and they lend long-term rates. Well, right now, them borrowing is costing them more than it is to lend it. Okay, so they're not making any money, so why would they lend? If I'm a bank owner, or if I want to lend to somebody, and I'm just potentially digging myself a hole, or I'm not getting anything, it's not worth it, why would I do that? Why would I take the risk on you not being able to pay back that 30-year mortgage? Or that 15-year loan, 10-year loan, the commercial side of things, guys. There's commercial real estate. There's all businesses that depend on products and such. All right? You're talking big numbers and they don't have it. It might take them a little while to pay it back. All right? What I'm getting at is give it time. I'm really curious about Powell and if he tries to talk down the markets. I'm gonna instinctively say he's just gonna stick to the same rhetoric. You're just gonna hear him say we're almost at a point that we're at that we want to pause. Like they want to just get to 5.5 in between there and let time do the rest. All right, and then figure out what they want to do with this balance sheet, guys. To backstop these banks, they had to raise the balance sheet to lend to these banks so that there were no issues. All right, going into this, we'll see how it works. Now, I don't think the Fed's balance sheet is going to come down anytime soon, because as long as you're in this type of environment, they have to keep that money there. They have to be able to let these banks know, hey, we're going to be here for you if anything goes wrong, so we don't destroy the economy. We want to slow things down, but we also don't want to just destroy the economy. This could go on for another 6, 8, 7, 8, 10 months, another year. It's hard to say how long it goes on for, but it will slow down. These rate hikes will show their face. These rate hikes will show their face with a little bit of time. Let's get into some trade ideas. So, as my guy said down there in the comment selection, you guys put in comments as well. Not just Colin. Colin's a trooper. He's here every day. He puts in the work, guys. All right, he's somebody you guys got to look up to. He puts in the work. All right, you put in the work, you're going to be successful. You get out what you put in. Let's do it. All right, so what did we say Friday? Okay, what did we say Friday? Guys, also, before I forget, keep your eye on gasoline futures. You're getting a lot of oil data. If you don't know, this is RBOB. RBOB is your gasoline futures. Okay, you have a pennant here. I don't like that. And what this is telling you is you're making higher highs and or lower highs but higher lows. Which one wins? You're putting in more of a higher low than you are anything else. Okay, so watch this. This could, again, we started calling oil, natural gas, and Bitcoin to the upside on Friday. If you were here, you'd have heard it first. All right, you'd have already been in on this stuff, and yeah, we got some really cool chart patterns we're gonna go through, guys. I'm going there right now. I just want to check to make sure that there's no gap fills here. Yeah, you do have a small gap there. So keep your eye on, because this can show up. Now this is going to show up on the inflation data that they get that includes this, but they also have the core, which is excluding food and energy. Okay, keep your eye on, it's RB1 or RBOB. There is some other inflation stuff. Sorry, I apologize. So Fed funds 5.6, guys. If you guys ever don't know where the Fed funds rate is, right here. Fed funds 5.6 right now. Like I said, we're at 5%. Let's go to BTC USD. Now, you also want to keep in mind the US dollar. You want to keep in mind the euro. Look at this wedge. Guys, this is the pattern. This is the pattern. This is it. Look at this move. We should have taken... Did I or did I not say? We're probably going to get a gap up tomorrow. He's going to say yes because he was there. He knows. I said it all day. I said, you know what? I want to take this trade, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait. It's going to gap up. I said there's a chance. I said there's a high probability that this is going to gap up tomorrow. Overnight. It's going to gap up. And what's it doing? Everybody and their mother is now talking about it. So now I'm a little worried. We were on this early, though. We were here, okay, on the 15th, 16th, right here. That candle, we said, you know what? We got to start watching Bitcoin. We got to start watching those type of stocks. So look at this, guys. Look at this level. I want to show you. This is such a beautiful, beautiful bull pattern if I've ever seen one. All right. You know, we've been in a bear market. Okay. It's put in head and shoulders, whatever, a double top. It sat up here and based, and you couldn't get no legs to go higher, and then it failed. We started quantitative tightening and all that good stuff. All right. You failed down. Look at this base right here. Okay. This 30,000 psychological level. All right. You broke it. You took your time. First of the year, we started climbing. And actually, the market was climbing with this. You turned it into resistance. Okay. This is when you're thinking, man, we just broke the base. Retested it. Finally, we retested it. Now, I'm going to look for the downside. But it didn't. It did not give you any type of continuation. All it did was take the prior yearly formation and turn it into support, guys. Look at this double top. You got one right there. I don't need to put any circles or anything. There's one. There's two. All right, you come down. Sorry, you come down, come up. Resistance. Okay. I need to have volume up on this thing. I'll have to fool with it. Anyway, you broke it. Guys, look at this. Look at this descending wedge. This is a bullish pattern. This wedge here is a bullish pattern. All right. You have ascending wedges and descending wedges. Usually your ascending wedges are reversal patterns that are bearish patterns. Okay. Now you can have there are different types, and it just matters on the condition in which they're being formed. Like this is being formed in a bullish manner. Okay, you're retesting the previous double top. All right, boom, we're breaking out. Now, I personally want to see what we do here. You got to get through this level. You got to get through this level, guys. And listen, if you don't get through it on the first try, your entry, where is there an entry if you're going to get, because now you're going to get everybody and their mother talking about this, so it may sell off because they want to run this thing up when nobody's talking about it so they can just get that money right and do it in peace and quiet. Nobody's there. All right. You want to look for a retest of this like area here. At worst case, guys, like right here. Matter of fact, it'd probably be better if I took a it'd probably be better if I just put a line there for you. Okay, right here. Let's see here. Hold on, give me 1 minute. At worst case, you want to go right here. bro. You right. I am hot. I am gonna be mad. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna be mad about missing Bitcoin. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. All right. So, guys, MSTR. God, I fucking love you, man. Excuse my language. I don't know what I'd do without you. Just know that I got you. Just know that I got you, and I'm gonna remember that. I remember that shit. Look at this wedge, guys. Beautiful wedge here. Okay, beautiful wedge. You're finally broken out. Let's look for a retest. What are we gonna look for a retest of? We do want to pull back. Let me see here. Let's go. Let's trail this thing on back. First, let's take notice in what your MACD is trying to go positive. I appreciate you so much, bro. Seriously. Your RSI, it's not bad. 59, 60. Okay, 59 to 60. That's not bad. There's some room left in this, guys. There's some room left here. Is that a helicopter? It's flying pretty low. Yeah, that's pretty low. That helicopter. Alright, so we've busted through there. Again, man, I appreciate you, man. He said, I know you're going to be pissed when you finally notice. I was like, I seen that, and I'm like, he's probably talking about Bitcoin. Like, I'm going to be mad it gapped up because I called it. Or, like, you know, I had this, I thought the probabilities were, like, really good that we could get a gap up tomorrow. And, I'm like, nah, I'm not mad. I'll catch it. You know, like, I'll get it. It is what it is. Nah, my mic, yeah, I can't help but laugh about it. I can't help but laugh. So look, guys, you guys have a really nice pennant here. What can we do? All right, let's do this. Let's go. Could I start it from there? I probably could, but I'm just going to start it from here. Let's do this. This is what I like to do. All right, I like to have some kind of gauge. I want to see if this is going to put me anywhere that's, whether it's resistance, support, anything that lines up really well to give me some kind. You guys need an edge. Okay? What is that edge? This is one of them. We did it with Ford. We've done it with the dollar, and I can take you there, and you guys will see it. It lines up perfect if you know how to measure your moves, guys. It's important. Measure your moves, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if institutions are in it, they're measuring their moves. It's all about probability. All right, so there we go. We have that. Let's go to the hand. Give me that. Give me that. Give me. So this is where we break out. Man, where does that put us, guys? That puts us pretty much in tune with. You know, it doesn't have to be exact. Maybe I could have started it from here, and maybe it gives me a whole different outcome. You know, maybe it puts me where I want to see it, in whether it's resistance or support. So I fucking hate logarithmic. At times I do. So look, we're already at a major point of resistance. It's kind of weird. This stock is a little iffy to go to try and chart. It's just, as you can see, it's not really like I would call, like, it doesn't look like Bitcoin at all. It looks a little bit like it, but look, it never went higher there. I think we got to look for upside, guys. Dude, this thing went to $1,300 flipping dollars. Are you serious? That's insane. Okay, it was at $100 or so. Yeah, look, $89 COVID low to $1,300. That's 10 times. It's not. It'd be cool if it was at like $20 or something and went to $1,300. That'd be pretty sick. Guys, the only thing I can say is if Bitcoin starts getting up to that area, we're already. That's going to be our first part. It's really weird. Like, this chart pattern sucks. I don't like this chart at all. This is our target. We're going to make this our first target, okay? I'm trying to see what makes the most sense, if you guys follow me. And I think it's going to be right there. I do. I think it's going to be right here. come on. Let's go right there. We have a pivot low. See this pivot low right here? You guys probably can't see it because it's depending on if you're watching on a phone or not. So there we go. And look, that line's right up with our pennant. Man, I would honestly like this thing up here, though. I want this thing to get up here. Dude, this is the ugliest type of chart I've ever seen, if I've ever seen a chart. I'm not even lying. That's so bad. So let's worry about that first. Let's worry about this first upside target. All right, let's see if we can get it up here. That's still a lot. I see why now. That's still a lot. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Might help us. A bullish thing. 200, 150 day moving average. We're above all major moving averages, and they're above one another. That's a bullish sign, guys. That's bullish. Because all the indicators are where they should be. You know. Oh, man. Maybe I could do it there. Maybe I could do it there. The 255 to 347. So that's about $100 move. This wedge is about $100. So if we just take it and we'll say, because we broke out of it there today, 294. Where's 394 at? Where's that take us? Roughly. I want to see where 394, 400. And hey, 394, that's a psychological number as well. All right, 394 to 400. That's going to put us back up at that base. All right, so I would personally look for, see, I have the 4-hour on right now. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through this quick, guys. I know, I apologize. I still have a lot of charts I want to go through. I just want to see where 400 is, roughly. So it puts us kind of there. Kind of at this. I wanted to get up into this region here. I wanted to see if it would get up there, but we got a ways to go before we get there. So let's just worry about our first. Let's see if we can get back to the upside of 350, 345, 343, 345. Okay. Start. What is that? Yeah, 345. So that's MSTR, guys. So we've been looking at BTBT also, which was a play that we announced on Friday. Guys, this thing went from 50 cents to $4. That's probably close to 1,000% just on the stock alone. Okay, 50 to 100 is 100%. 1 to 2 would be is that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it's about 800 or 400% from 50 cents. 50 to 100 is 100%. So 150, 250, 350, 4. So I was going to say 800%, 800%. 800% just on the stock itself. It's pretty crazy. Now, again, that's from low to where we're at now. All right, and we haven't reached $4 just yet. We just briefly touched it today. Guys, look at this, and we're on a daily. What do you guys see? What is it that you guys see? And Friday, I almost put a starter position on. If you guys don't know, you can always just play the stock. Look at the volume. That's backing you up. Look at that volume. The MACD is a bit overextended. The RSI is a bit overextended as well. Obviously, this thing was 50 cents and it's at $4 now. So you might want to wait on BTBT, but look, Bito. That's the one. That's where I'm going to be playing this thing if and when I get my opportunity, okay? Your 38.2 puts you back in this range, and I covered this range last night. Look at this, guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Beautiful. All right, and we just straight broke to the upside. Friday was the day that I took notice in this. I seen the rising. I seen, the rising on the bottom end of this range, and then I started digging a little deeper. All right, I don't know how, but I got myself there. So what we're gonna do is we have a big gap fill up here. You can at least look for 17 This is our, I don't have anything else up here because I want to see if we're able to break up to the top side of this target. So here's my ranges. I want to see tomorrow if we gap up on BITO, BITO, 1575. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute chart or the hourly, whichever. 15-minute chart. Let's put in after hours. Again, guys, we have the gap fill too on the SPY and stuff like that to look for tomorrow if we get a bearish Powell. But that doesn't mean you can't back it up with the long Bitcoin. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin has to go down. Bitcoin led the market up in December and the first of the year. In the first 3 months, it led the market higher. It was the leader. I was using that as a gauge to get long when I was long in those ranges and long the market. Literally, Bitcoin was a day ahead of the market. Sometimes it works like that. It changed. And then what did I do after that? I was actually using the IWM to trade the SPY. All right, that hasn't worked. Now you just got to find what works, guys. Whatever gives you guys an edge. Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, we're live. IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. Post your questions or comments, tickers in the chat. Guys, so if we get either a gap up, okay, there's a gap here. All right, you guys are going to want to put this on your chart. There is a gap here. Now, we've already kind of filled it with where we closed. So I am going to put that on my chart right now. And just so I know that there was a gap and that is where it's filled. So what will happen is if tomorrow, if we gap up, I want to look to be a buyer on any pullbacks I get. Now I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to go into the hour. I'm going to chart this out real time for you guys. So we have a concrete plan. We'll have 3 levels. 3 levels, okay? I'm not even going to say it. It's inappropriate. So we did wick. It looks like we wicked there after hours. All right, yeah, see how we wicked it? So let's go to an hourly. Okay, let's go to the hourly. So we know we have this range here. Give me the 4, actually. Give me the 4. These charts are a little, it's not that it's hard, it's just, it's a little weird trying to chart these out. Because it's not like charting the SPY or any other, anything else, you know. Watch. And you guys are going to start seeing a lot of people start to talk about this. A lot of people are going to start talking about Bitcoin and Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. And that's okay. I actually want to take that bottom. See how that one lines up better? Give me that. Let me remove that one. I don't know which one it was. Shit. There we go. Good deal. Good deal. That's our first level of resistance. So if we get a pullback, let's say we don't gap up. This level is a little too tough to take out the first try. Where are we going to want to look to get long? I'm going to want to be a buyer here around $15 psychological level, $15. Is this the 4-hour? It is the 4-hour. Okay. Let's take it here. I can get rid of this orange if it messes you guys up. Again, worst case, all right, worst case, if we pull back in and we test the top side of this range here where this orange dotted line is, even if I have to extend it, maybe we go up, we pull back, and then what do? We start to find a base maybe? Like we start to find, like I want to know where resistance becomes support, but it doesn't really work like that here on these stocks, on like Bitcoin and stuff like that. Like it's really weird. So 1542 that is. I'm just trying to see where the best, you know what, let me go to the daily. Again, let me go to the daily because that's also important. And you kind of have a reverse head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You know, I guess, you know. Let's see here. We have spent so much time down here. And look at that. We're at the level now. I already have that level charted just from the 15 or 4-hour chart, guys. This level is like 1521. Or no, I don't. So yes, 1521. Boom. Look how pretty that is. That's, if we don't break above there, this is where we want to be a buyer. 1521. Look how clean this is, guys. Look at this. You guys probably didn't see it. Look here. 1520-ish, 1521. Now let me pan it out for you so you guys can see what it is. See, it could be, it's an area. It's not a single price. We have an increase in volume. Look how good that looks, guys. Okay, look how good that looks. It's top of your range on both sides. You want to try to, ooh, hold on. Is that it, actually? Wait. I think I found it. 15 flat. See what I mean? It's so weird to try and chart these. I'm sorry. We're going to do that one. But that one looks good too. That one looks really good too. Fudge. I don't know what to do. I like this one, guys. 15 flat. Let me make it bigger. But just so you know, look where it lines up here to the left, okay? Look where it lines up. Look at that. Lines right up on these wicks right here. It's a flat top resistance right there. You actually have a pennant forming right there. That's an ascending wedge with a breakdown. You guys got to start getting to know these patterns. See, I was talking about a descending wedge and then an ascending wedge, how they're bullish and bearish patterns. Ascending wedge, okay? They're so important to know because they give you an idea on what's about to happen next. See that? And then look at the breakdown. Broke down and out. Look at the gap. Boom. And it just got hammered. Just got hammered. Yeah, now, I don't know if you guys were able to see that without me putting the lines. But again, I've been doing this for a long time. I can see these things without having to draw the lines. That's an ascending wedge. We have a descending wedge on Bitcoin and these stocks right now. This is a pullback. And listen, what else makes this so important? If you guys ever want a book right here, this is it. How to Make Money in Stocks. It is William O'Neill, who actually just passed away this year. All right. And my mic is on. I got to make sure my mic is on, guys. This is the only book you need. I promise. This is your Bible. This is going to cover how to bear markets and how you come into bull markets. How do you start bear markets? Patterns, wedges, cup and handles, price action. It's going to cover everything. It's going to cover like rotation and sectors. Okay? It's going to cover so much stuff. That's your Bible. That's all I'm going to say, guys. Go pick it up. Go pick it up. It's the only book that I'll ever recommend for stocks. That's it. That's the only book. All right. If you're new, you might want to come here and join us and learn a few things before you try and dig into it because you probably won't know. But it's a really, really good book. I would highly suggest you guys get into it. What does it say in William O'Neill? All right. This is how we can back up the bullish scenario. I should have looked at it and said, oh, hey, thanks, Will. Guys, what do you have here that you don't have in these areas? I want to give you guys a minute to answer that question. What is difference between all this and this? Okay? There's a big difference. And you could also say, if I pull up the weekly chart, you could also say it's an inverse head and shoulders, but it pulled back, but it's a big cup and handle. That's one. That's one is that it's a longer term cup and handle, kinda. Not really. Not really. But so look at the price action. When I tell you guys, like on days that are going to be continuation days, I'm going to get through this. We're going to go into the stocks. I'm not going to make this thing any longer because I know you guys want to get through this. Look how tight the buy and sell. Look how tight these candles are. Look at that. See how tight they are? They're not all over the place jumping around. Nice and tight. Consolidation. Nice and tight. Bang. What do you have here? You don't really have that. Two big candles. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're back up. We're back down. Coming back up. Guys, this is just a nice tight consolidation. Okay? Boom. On the breakout. Like you don't have that here. There's a big difference between just this and this. Okay? There's a big difference. I can see it. You guys may not be able to see it, but I can see it. I also can say, look at the volume that came in on these dips here. That's a good sign. So they're buying the dip, okay? I do want to, guys, tomorrow, I don't care what the SPY does. I want to see another volume bar. Here, baby daddy. Sorry, my cat came out of the closet. Let me get her. Let me let her out real quick. I'm sure she's gotta go to the bathroom. Guys, I want to see a candle bar. If it's not tomorrow, then give it to me Thursday, please. Okay, you guys want to see a candle bar that looks like that. Okay, now what you could get is something like this. Okay, you could get tomorrow, since everybody's talking about it. Okay, you could get one of these. We could get, it's hard to say. I don't know if we will. Maybe we break out. Maybe we do get that. But you could get, I want to see if we do get it. Now, I got to make it so you guys can see it. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. But, oh, yeah, I can do this. Tomorrow, I want to see if we get a consolidation candle. At worst, that's something that looks like that. Okay? Something that looks like that. At worst. At worst. Like just tomorrow. I don't want like a big one. I don't want a volume, a sell candle that takes over today's price action. I don't want that. I will be short as fast as you can blink. There you go, turkey. Come on, watch your tail. I got stuff to do. Come on, watch your tail, baby. Sorry. So, you want to see if we get a consolidation candle. Alright, I don't want to see it extend and be something crazy. Alright, I don't want it to be big. But if we do consolidate, that's okay. Stocks don't just go straight up. Alright, stocks just don't go straight up. They have pullbacks. And when we get those pullbacks, you want to be a buyer. Alright? Yeah, man, that's cool, dude. Sounds good, man. I'm going to go over a couple stocks. You got TSM, Microsoft, AMD, and Boeing. I have a couple stocks I'm going to go over. I'm going to do that right now in Meta. All right. See you in the morning, bro. Sorry that I kept us on. Dude, it's already been 2 hours. Are you kidding me? I got to stop doing this. All right, guys. Let's go over them. Or we could go over them in the morning, too. I just want to show you guys MSFT. All right. 4-hour chart. Let's go to it real quickly. I'm sorry that I spent too much time on stuff. I got to stop doing that. Let's look at this. You have a 4-hour. Even on the daily, you'll have it. Look at this pullback and the support. I've had this drawn and I've had it there for a while. I've just been waiting. I've been waiting for the pullback. I want to see if this holds. All right. You did have an increase in sell volume. So keep that in mind. What else do you have? You're at all-time highs. Okay. You're at all-time highs. You have an increase in sell volume, which is to be expected at all-time highs. Look at the run Microsoft has had. If they didn't take any type of profit, that would just be plain stupid, okay? So tomorrow, and what else did we do? We wicked right off the 9 EMA. I want to see if we can hold this level or if we gap down, guys. If we gap down, I want to be short at 338.35. All right, 338.35. Call it 339, or call it 338, 339 in that area. All right, we'll go to the 15-minute chart real quick. Again, I'm just going to blast through these real quick. I apologize again. It's held up, okay? It's held up. It looks like the Qs want to hold up. They're starting to go green, trying to, it looks like. So we'll see if we have a trade here. I will be taking profits at 340, 341 if I do catch the long. Second take will be up here at 344.14 and then psychological 345 area. There's a double bottom right here. Maybe we turn that into resistance and really get to the sell-off. If it's going to happen. All right. If it's going to happen. Like I say, there's a nice area to take profits at 344 and then 345. Let's go to, I want to see what I don't even know what happened to this stock today, but it's been on my radar. It did. It broke down, guys. So TSM finally broke down. What does this mean going forward? All right. I'm going to want to be short. I want to go to the daily real quick, though, first. And then we can go into a longer term. It doesn't look so bad on the daily, actually. So now I've actually changed my mind. So if you're looking at Taiwan Semiconductor, the ticker symbol TSM, you have a nice bear flag into this resistance or support. What was resistance? Are you kidding me? Come on. So if we draw out this line right here from where we opened a few weeks ago, you did wick below it, but you held it. Okay, you held it. And that, dude, Thinkorswim pisses me off, man. I'm sorry, but it pisses me off. It shouldn't be this retarded. Excuse my French. I don't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that word. But it shouldn't be this stupid. Like, it should not act like this. They have too good of charts to be doing this stuff. You are doing this on a gap up. So keep that in mind. There's nothing holding you up here. It did hold it as support now. But look at this gap up is the one I'm talking about. So there's nothing here holding it up. You did have a wick. You did wick down here. But keep that kind of stuff in mind. All right, because you had an increase in volume, boom. And what else could happen? They just paid a dividend. Isn't that funny? They just paid their dividend. Do these people stay in? And then they have earnings the end of the month. Not this month, but July. Okay, about 5-6 weeks away. Not far. Trust me, it'll be here before you know it. Okay, so we have Taiwan Semiconductor that I can't find on my screen because it hates me. My charts hate me. So, does this hold tomorrow? We'll find out. Do we gap below? And if we gap below, guys, I'm short bounces on TSM. Maybe I back it up with a long on Bitcoin. We'll see. Microsoft, TSM. Let's go to Meta. Meta also held up today. A lot of these charts look the same. See, look at these wicks. Okay, look at these John Wicks, I call them. I think that was a movie or something. I never watched it. I don't really watch too many movies or anything. But look at the sell candle you guys got. The selling is really starting to try and pick up here. Now, if I go to the daily chart, I'm sure if I go back, you're going to have, yeah, look, this pivot low. You have a pivot low here at 289. And you want to watch for not only 289, but you want to watch for 300 flat, the psychological 300. Maybe it gets there. Maybe it doesn't. I think it will eventually. Hold on, baby. You're okay. All right, so that's Meta. My cat's going to start getting to me now. What else? TSM, Meta, Microsoft, we went over. AMD. Look, she's just going to mess with me. She's just going to mess with me. She doesn't know who I fed her. Meta is, I'm a little iffy on Meta. Look at the volume we had here on their AI day, whatever it was. Technology day or something of that nature. We have a gap here, guys. Look at this gap. I want to see if we come down and fill the gap. Okay? You can look to be a buyer down here just because of the risk to reward, but you gotta watch. Okay, look at this. As we've went down, the sell volume has decreased. Again, it's Monday, so it's hard to say what tomorrow's going to bring. So I'm just gonna watch this one. Okay, I'm just gonna watch this and see what it does. We can go to the 4-hour and kind of get the intraday candles and see how they look. Again, this level is pretty clear. Look at this, guys. You have an inverse head and shoulders here. And it looks like it failed to break out. That's a failure to break out, guys. Abby, you're flipping killing me. Please either come in or go out, please. So, if you guys don't see what I see, again, right here, there's your left shoulder, there's your head. There's your right shoulder. It breaks out, and then look, what's it do? It tests the neckline. That turquoise line is your neckline. What do we want to do? This is actually another beautiful setup. I want to be short AMD right at that neckline. Swear to God. Swear to God. Catch me on that neckline. We're going short right here, guys. I'm telling you now. If we get back up here, it cannot break this level. 124.50. 124.50. I might even edge into it like prior to that. Maybe, let me see. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work. Probably this. I'm going to trust my levels. Let's call it 123.50. There's $1.25. Maybe I'll give it a little bit past that level. That's another area, 127. So we'll see. If AMD bounces, and in the manner that it does bounce, I want to see if I can grab the short up here. Because again, remember what's going on here. They are shorting up at the top and buying down at the bottom. Okay, the shorts are really showing up. Okay. Dude, are you kidding me? Undo. The shorts are up here. Okay. Shorts are up there. The buyers are down here. That's the game that we have right now. So you want to remember, you don't want to just like short into, but if the setup's there, then, you put the risk on. You have your stop loss, and it is what it is. You make your losers smaller than your winners, you're doing good. You'll do all right. And if you do that, guys, you could go 9 for 10 in the stock market, have 9 losing trades, and have 1 winning trade, and you could still out make those 9 losing trades. I mean, 1 good trade. It's the truth. If I sit here and lose $1 every trade, and then I catch $10, all right, I have to catch $10 on every dollar that I were to lose out of the 9. And trust me, I can catch a $10 move. That's not hard to do. All right. So, I did, let's just say also too today, I thought about going long Rivian, so I just put it on at the right spot. I gave it, I don't know, $1 or so. I gave it a little bit. I gave it the initial morning high, and I stopped out of that trade. So I had 1 small losing trade today. No big deal. I didn't even really plan on trading today because I wanted to wait for this testimony and these inflation data. This inflation data that's coming out later in the week. I think later in the week, I'm going to say Thursday is going to be the day to see if we get some real, movement. I want to see if we get a nice continuation day on Thursday, if not Wednesday. Hell, maybe even Friday. I'm going to say Wednesday or Thursday. So tomorrow or Thursday, we'll see what happens. All right. I still think after tomorrow, they get their butts in the seats today. They see how Powell's going to be. They listen to him answer, and I think Thursday is when we can get some good movement. It could be tomorrow. I think Wednesday for AMD, maybe we push to the upside, and then boom, we get that short, take it into Thursday and Friday. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens with that. So Boeing had some news out that they weren't getting. The news was not necessarily Boeing, but so this is another stock I want you guys to keep on your watch list. All right. Airbus got a big deal with India. Okay. India announced that they're going to purchase 500 jets from Airbus. So Boeing didn't get that. Okay, Boeing sold off. Whether it was just a shakeout or sold off on that news, I'm not too positive. But I do know if Boeing can hold up here and the Dow holds up, okay, I will be long. This might be the last chance to get long Boeing. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go after this. Maybe. I think it can. Because I feel like Boeing's been one of those stocks that has given you so much time to go see, the higher prices that it put in 2018, 2019. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's crazy. 227. Because I got to be honest. Oh, no. This is AMBA. No. BA. There we go. There we go, guys. I apologize. So what do we have here? We have a descending wedge. We break out. We retest it. We rally. Is this a failed breakout? This is an increase in volume. The volume's pretty big to the sell side. I would keep your eye on Boeing, and let's see. Let's run through the charts real quick and see if it's a short or not. Worst case, if we have another down day in Boeing, you want to watch this level right here, this 209 level. All right, to see if it can become support. It hasn't really, well, it did once. You sold off right to it, then it gapped below it. You wicked down to the 200-day and came back up above it, only to sell off again. So this 213 area is a little rough. So I don't know what they want to do with BA. We'll see if we get some upside tomorrow with it. All right, I just feel like this thing's been beaten up to an extent. Not really. I mean, I'm sure it's just stuff about this these type of industries, like car manufacturers and like building an airplane. Like, it's so labor and material, it's cash, labor, and material expensive. That's not the word I'm looking for. Intensive. It's intensive. The margin, to get your margins, it's a lot of material. It's the employees, it's the technicians and the engineers and the building of the things that build the planes, that helps build the planes, So I want to see what we do here. I'm really curious on how this level does. And that's right where we closed at. And that level is 212.33. Again, that's 212.33. Could I come up a little bit on it? I think I can. I'm trying to hurry up. I know it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so I can come up just a hair. And I'll leave it. It's all good. I'll leave it. All right, so we had Boeing. We went through that. We went through MSTR again for Bitcoin and stuff like that, guys. Again, you can watch Coinbase. They have their own issues. I would not recommend that. Okay, you have Mara, MARA. You have Riot, as in RIOT. You have MSTR, which is MSTR, like a monster but no N. MSTR. You have BTBT. That one's a little overextended, but you also have the actual Bitcoin ETF, BITO, BITO, whatever you want to call it, BITO. I'm tired, guys. I am going to call it a night. I hope this information was useful. Again, Boeing has news with that they were not going to be the on the receiving end of the 500 jets. It's going to be Airbus. We'll see what happens. Airbus did not extend to the upside. There was news on Tesla, guys, or not necessarily Tesla, but Rivian today. Roblox, there's news again. I would love to get get into all this stuff. But there's only so much time that we have, and if you want to, we can go through it, but I don't want to continuously bore you guys to death. Tesla, another rally, guys. Another. When you guys say that it can't stop, you're just fueling the fire. Just say you're getting long so we can start getting a pullback in this name, please. Could we all do that for one another and say, hey, Tesla, yeah, I'm going to get long. I'm getting long tomorrow, bet. Bet I don't get long that thing at 9:30. And, let's bring this thing down. Let's stop saying, oh, my God, 14, 15, 20 days straight to the upside. It's going to keep going up. Especially more people that say that it can't keep going up. It's going to go up. This is a bull market rally. This is a new bull market starting, in a sense, other than the IWM telling us that it's not a bull market. Like, we're going to get something's going to happen. So, again, Tesla, Roblox also they have actually a couple different pieces of news. There's some news earlier with advertisements. If you listen to their earnings call, you could see that. But they said that they're gonna start having an older adult version of it, where creators can make blood and maybe some nudity, or maybe what is it? Kind of like Grand Theft Auto. So it's going to be 17 years and older. And they're also, I think, they've already spent money to be able to advertise. So I would watch Roblox. I don't know if that's why this rally came about, or if I think it might have just been the markets. I don't know when the news came out, but I did see it. So I don't know if it's old news or what. It could be old news. I don't know. It did put in a nice support level here, guys. Look, resistance, boom, support. What happens up here? Let's put Roblox on the list for tomorrow, guys. I am. This is the stuff I like to see. You put in a double bottom, resistance, you break it, come back down. This is shakeout, but it really starts right here. It really starts here on the 1 hour chart, guys. Resistance, can't break. It comes down pre-market, boom. Rally ensues, guys. You come back down, and what do? You test and make that resistance support. Where do we go from here? Who knows? Nobody knows other than the daily chart. The daily chart will tell you the way. Please trust me on that. And if we do, for some reason, we're able to break into this gap, play the gap fill. You're looking at upside around $45. That's a nice move for a $40 stock. All right, if you guys have found this information valuable, if you could, please like, share, and subscribe. Post your questions or tickers in the chat. We're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. I hope you guys had fun and enjoyed yourself. I hope you guys were able to learn something. If you don't know, we've been early on these calls. We've been on gold. We've been on oil. Baba last week. I mean, Colin, a member, is proof that this is what we have been laying out for everyone as traders. What happens tomorrow with Powell, guys? Let's get our sleep. Let's get ready to come in tomorrow, ready to rock and roll. Take this. There's going to be opportunity that we need to take a hold of. All right, I'm going to be there. I hope you're there. Come join us. If there's any questions or anything we can help you with, we would gladly do so. Again, guys, if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's all we ask. All right, it's free 99. I give you guys my trade ideas. I don't ask for money, and even better, I don't ask for your information. All these other little slicksters out here that say they build relationships, they do this and that, they're data brokers. Look at their background, guys. Again, Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. 7:30 to 4 p.m. We're live every day, and then we have our nightly watch list. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I hope you guys were able to gain some information that you could take with you tomorrow. Join us 7:30. We'll see you there.